just start with a word of prayer. Let us pray. Gracious, loving Father, be with us right now as we enter into this presentation. Bless everyone that pay attention carefully. Help them to gain adequate knowledge and understanding they have of what is going on, and that they may understand how late time is to prepare for the second coming of Jesus Christ. These mercies we ask of you, dear Father, thanking you for hearing us and blessing us. Amen. Quite a lot of things have been happening upon the face of this earth in such a terrible way. We have had quite a lot of natural disasters taking place, as you know, more than ever before, unprecedented. They're terrible, very, very terrible. But today we don't want to talk about natural disasters. We want to talk about how late time is. Because if you were to ask a person, based upon the prophecies you understand from the Bible, how far have we reached? Will they be able to outline it to you? To give you clear evidence of what we have, how far we have reached, so that we will know the progress towards the end is taking place. So today we want to look at some of the latest things that have been going on, and we want to see what we can do about it. I have a whole set of things I've written out here. We may not have time to go through this, but at least we can look at some of the very terrible things that have happened so far. You see, over and over we have been saying that today when they hear his voice, harden not your heart. And we have been saying over and over that Jesus Christ is coming soon, and that God has given us warnings that we will learn to prepare for his second coming. You see, when the second coming of Jesus Christ takes place, there must be sin-free people upon the face of the earth. Because when Christ is coming, we must be without sin unto redemption. Yes. So, to be without sin unto redemption, you must understand how God makes you sin-free, and you must understand how to maintain the sin-freeness. You must understand how to fight against sin, to not allow sin to come back in you. You must learn how to become so strong with the faith of Jesus Christ that whatever temptation is brought to you, and all the temptations of the world will be brought to humanity mixed up with a Sunday law. You have to learn how to face it. So you have chance now as you are alive. You have chance now before those events take place to help yourself. And this is the reason why we are here. They say offshoot. In the biblical teaching, offshoot is always offshoot from the faith. Not an organization. Because no organization is the standard. Christ is the standard. And if you turn away from Christ, you are offshoot from the truth. The point about it, we are a Seventh-day Adventist church, but we are just independent of conference control. There is no scripture that says a few men in an office are supposed to control you. Because you're supposed to be led by the Holy Spirit. And if you remove the blocks that men institute by their organization, then they will be free to understand, and they won't block you from understanding and from preparing as we need to prepare. Is that understood? Amen. And for that reason, this idea of Christianity is the idea that was spoken about in the spirit of prophecy to exist in the end and will spread all over the world. Indeed, we have already established beachheads in different countries of the earth, and it is just a matter of time before things take off. What do you see? Amen. So, how far have we reached? How far have we reached in the events that have been taking place? First of all, turn with me to Ezekiel chapter 33. Let's just read a couple of scriptures here. And then we have a lot of things for you to look at here. Ezekiel chapter 33. We start from verse 1. Quote from verse 1. Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast, and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then in whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and take it not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So thou, son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth, and warn them from me. Did you see that, my dear brethren? And this is what we are. We are watchmen on the walls of Zion. And when we see the trouble coming, we have to what? Warn people. And this is the reason why today our topic is what is going on. Or our second name for it is news. You want to look at some news. You want to look at what is going on. And we want to give you video evidence also, so that you will see and hear for yourself. A long time, Seventh-day Adventists have always warned that a Sunday law is coming, and that certain things have to take place for a Sunday law to come. We have been warned about a Sunday law. The issue behind a Sunday law is exalting the Pope to be God with God. And those who actually partake of the Sunday law will be saying that the Pope is God with God. But your Bible also told you that the Pope got this authority, this seat, and this ability from the dragon, the devil. Yes. And it says when you worship the papacy, you're worshiping the dragon. So if you are saying that the Pope is God with God, then you are repeating Lucifer's original argument. When he said, I will be like the what? Most High. To be like the Most High, it means to say the Most High must be existing, and you must be a Most High also. Which means to say you are God what? With God. And that is the issue. The very first argument he had in heaven, he is seeking to finish it off by getting everybody to join the rebellion. And he's going to use a Sunday law to do that. You will have to show that God is Yahweh. You have to show one Yahweh. Remember that. One God. That is what you have to show. And to show that, you will have to keep the Sabbath, which clearly shows, as Jesus said, the Son of Man is Yahweh, also of the Sabbath. That's what you will have to show. But to show that, you're not just to do it by culture, you're to do it by faith. Which means you must understand. And that understanding must change you to make you really mean what you are saying and mean what you are doing. Is that understood? But that is what we have been looking for. And even though some people hold those concepts frivolously in the traditional Adventist organization, or hold it in a washed down way, we need to hold it by faith. What do we see? And as time gets later, we begin to see the forces dividing up. And we have on the board here some of the organizations that will bring the Sunday law already here. They are already here with us. So that's why I've just given you the name. This name is in part. Let me just add the other part of the name for you. That's the other part of the name. Right? So it is Potus Shield. Okay? Which I will read for you and show you some things that are going on. But since our time is late, let's first start off with just this one This one chart here. This is President Putin. This is the president of Russia. Yes. The largest land mass on earth that has millions and millions of people here. Here is the president of Russia giving us a message. Hear what he says, I quote, President Putin has slammed Pope Francis for pushing a political ideology instead of running a church. What did he say? And warned that the leader of the Catholic Church is not a man of God. This is the president of Russia, who they hate. He said Pope Francis is using his platform to push a dangerous far-left political ideology on vulnerable people around the world. People who trust him because of his position, Putin said. Is not true? Of course it is true. We are told, if you look at what the Pope says, it is clear that he is not a man of God. At least not the Christian God. Not the God of the Bible. Putin said. I love this guy. Latest news. He says, Putin said at the Naval Academy of St. Nicholas at Amsterdam. He's explaining about the Pope. He's continuing. He dreams of a world government and a global communist system of repression. We have seen before in communist states, this system is not compatible with Christianity. That is the president of Russia. He sounds like an Adventist already. And that's why our work, when you pray and you kneel down and you pray to God, pray to God that the president of Russia comes to the true faith. Amen. One sister here even dreamt that he was right here. And he said he came to hear. Amen. Amen. So pray for this. Is that understood? Yes.
Yeah, brother, you know I can do the machine, I will follow up. You know I can do the machine, I will follow up. You know I can do the machine, I will follow up. You will understand coming in. I walk on, right? I can do some Russian hoops and start to put videos outside there and you will put inside it. Because I will not be up and I said to Israel, nobody will not think. And got to go.
Because I wonder if they want to do videos. Yes, go ahead. So, brother, do you like that statement that he said? We have proof of it. What did he say? Because he knows that that person is not a man of God. That person is not, he's not God with God, and he's not a man of God. Amen? As we say, man of sin. Now, there has recently been a video circulating on the internet. This video was a deception one. Because this video was made by an Adventist movie people. And it was made a long time. Somebody cut off a piece and put it on the net now to give people the impression this is what is going on now. That was a distraction. Because once you understand what they are saying things that are true. But the fact that it is not what is happening now, they have misled people. And once you mislead a person, they will lose interest in the real things that are going on. That's the name of this study. What is going on? News. Amen, brother? So let's look at the video.
You're watching VNN, the Vatican News Network. World News Today. And now, here's Katerina Vega.
Under the leadership of the Vatican, the world has seen tremendous religious reform. Miracles abound. Claims have been made that the sick are being healed and loved ones in heaven are communicating with their families. However, even under our new leadership, natural disasters are steadily increasing at an alarming rate. His Excellency the Pope has stated that he believes the reason for this is that God is displeased with a small group of heretics that refuse to keep the Sunday Sabbath holy. World citizens are encouraged to report anyone that either chooses another day of worship or that refuses to worship altogether. These people are a danger to the human race. Only by becoming fully united can we hope to have peace and please the Lord. As a precaution against an uprising from potential extremists, the papacy has enacted martial law in most major cities worldwide. World citizens are to comply with all local authorities. In other news, thousands of reports have been arriving in our studio that both children and the elderly are mysteriously dying at an astonishing rate. No word yet on the cause.
So this first clip, if you observe Vatican News Network, no such organization exists. Secondly, this clip assumes that the Sunday law has already been passed, and a few small group is refusing to follow. We know that will happen in the future, but they're giving the impression it is happening now. And then furthermore, they give the impression that the Pope is passing martial law all over the earth. He never had control over all the nations politically, and he never will. This is based upon false teachings that have been in the Adventist Church. So all this is wrong. And they have had this video spreading around. Now what is going on now, in truth and in fact, the Sabbath is being discussed now on networks in the world sometimes. I just want to give you one of the networks, actually CNN, where the Sabbath is being discussed. And please pay attention. You will come to see where you are told you have the right to rest, but you only have the right to rest together. That's how they come in with us now. Because if you come and say, well, okay, yes, resting is a right, so I have the 7 days, they say, no. Yes, you have a right to rest, but you have a right to rest together. So everybody must do it at the same time, for the sake of contact with one another. So that's how they are coming. They're going to come and bring the Sabbath as a right, a rest right. But it is a rest right only, all at the same time. And if they want to put all at the same time, then all must have what? 1 day. Hence you know why they are called 7th day. Amen, brother? So let's go on.
So Judith, you know, it's kind of the perfect weekend to talk about it, Easter weekend, and you know, we just had Passover, right? So let's talk to me about the Sabbath, what it means, you know, just religion aside.
He said, put religion aside.
Two things to me. One, it's just.
He said, put religion aside and let's talk about the Sabbath. What when we talk about the Sabbath and religion aside? He personally doesn't want religious convictions. So you want to discuss the Sabbath without religious conviction. If you discuss it without religious conviction, then you wouldn't have to make the conviction of what? God. But do whatever you want. So let's go on.
The Sabbath is two things to me. One, it's this incredible idea. It's really one of the great ideas in human history. It's transformed the world. It's affected the way we've lived for thousands of years. And I was interested in thinking about it, studying it, learning its history before it kind of disappeared from our lives. So that was the big idea that I had about the Sabbath. And then what it meant to me personally was it was a way to get outside of the workaday, driven, careerist life that I was leading.
You know, it's interesting because you talk about, you know, Christians, any religion, people have these moments where they feel like they're searching for something, right? And then it can be even harder now, as you say, you know, we're connected. I'm showing my BlackBerry and my iPhone, and you're always connected. And sometimes, do you think it's always about religion, or is it just about connecting to source, connecting to family, pulling back and not being so involved in the rat race?
Don, that is exactly the point. That's exactly the point of what I discovered about the Sabbath, which is that it is a really good idea for people, for families, for communities to set aside a structured time in which to connect with each other. And that is at the heart what the Sabbath does. I say we're sort of we're driven by time rather than driving it ourselves, and it's making us sick. The idea of the Sabbath is not just that all people have the right not to work, which, by the way, was a radical and new idea when it was first conceived and written down in the Fourth Commandment. It's not only that. It's that all people have the right to work, not to work, at the same time, so that they can be together.
So everybody have the right to work and the right not to work, all at the same time. Now you're getting the idea of how they are coming. Is that understood? Yes. So what's going on? That's what's going on. It's already being discussed. And this is CNN. But what they're discussing is giving you ideas of what is going to come. Because they're going to say, oh yes, you have the right to work. But you also have the right to work. Rest. That's what they will tell you. And all at the same time. So if you say, well yes, mine is a 7 day, they'll say, no. All must be when? The same time. That's what they're going to tell you. Let's go on.
And one of the things that's happening to us is that we're getting on these very different schedules, and we're having a very hard time figuring out how to come together. And what the Sabbath does is it creates this situation in which there's just a structured period in which we can come together.
So is this the first step? And maybe that is the answer to my next question. Is going to say, what's the first step if someone's watching and they say, you know what, I need to do that?
Basically, the first step is to do it yourself. You bring it into your life and try to get your family to do it with you. But one of the things I argue in the book is one of the ideas, the political ideas sort of embedded in the Sabbath, is the idea that as a society we have the right to take control of our time and say maybe as a democratic society we want to decide to bring back some rules about what can and cannot be done one day a week. And we might want to start thinking about ways to encourage people not to work on that day.
Ah, very good advice.
Okay, so you all understood that just fine, okay? Yes, brother.
Yeah, I just want to say, to me, in the end, when she's speaking about political issues, about what could be done and what can't be done, I think that is really a dangerous thought. But in the scripture, doesn't the Bible, you speak about at the same time, but isn't the Sabbath one day on a particular time? People can argue that. And then the Bible says a holy convocation, it means everybody coming together. So people can say that as well. But
we don't say everybody has a right to rest. You understand? At the same time. Because who is going to determine that time? God is already made a command of the time that He has set. You understand? And our right is the right to serve God, which will be obeying Him. But not the current time, we have the right to rest. But everybody has the right to rest at the same time. Then you are going to tell me what time I have to rest. And since the majority is already what day, then I must follow that time. Not on their life. What do you think? Right, Amen. So, this one, pay attention to what you're going to see here. Yes, go ahead.
And the presentation of the Sabbath, she didn't qualify what day it is. She just turned and said the Sabbath, and just talk about Sabbath. And the way she talk about it, water down to your doing, your intuition, when that time will be.
Yeah, I just gave you part of it. I just gave you part of it. Because anytime when you look at these things, it's too much wrong set and useless talking. And we don't want to be bored. Because the carnal mind is making you bored. You didn't hear that word. What causes it to be bored? That's right. Remember that. Let's go.
President Trump meets Pope. Something big is about to happen. Breaking prophetic news. President Trump meets Pope. Something big is about to happen. Okay, everybody, I want right now to really tell you what I believe is going to happen very, very soon. I believe that this visit between the President and the Pope has prophetic significance. I believe that we are poised on seeing very, very quickly something big prophetically to unfold according to the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation, these twin volumes, these prophetic symbolic books that relate to our day. Okay, so we've been watching this trip that the president and his wife and daughter Ivanka and his son-in-law and some other political leaders in his entourage, anyway, they have been making this unforgettable, historic first foreign trip. And on May 23rd, 2017, Pope Francis and President Donald Trump met at the Vatican. Both for history and for Bible prophecy, this meeting will be remembered. And so the president's first foreign trip also took him to Saudi Arabia. Well, this is a Muslim country which includes Islam's holiest spot. And of course, the second holiest spot in Jerusalem. And so here is a picture of President Trump meeting with the president of Egypt. And President Trump's trip also included Europe. And President Trump also gave a speech to NATO. And he also told NATO to pay up, and some of them not paying up on bills that they owe. And so, breaking news, President Trump arrived at the European Union headquarters. And so the president's trip included the prize city of Jerusalem, which is very personal for President Trump and his family, since both his daughter, Ivanka, and her husband are Jewish. In a short speech while in Israel, President Trump made it very clear that the United States supports Israel. Now, 50 years ago, in 1967, Israel, in a bold and daring move, captured the Western Wall in Jerusalem. Now, this was the first ever visit of an American president to the Western Wall in Old Jerusalem. But no visit was more important to history and to Bible prophecy than his visit to the seat, the papal seat of the most powerful religious organization on the planet. Political leaders from all around the globe visit the Vatican every year. As a matter of fact, 82 countries, that's right, 82 countries currently maintain embassies to the Holy See, to the Vatican. It's been said all roads lead to Rome. Well, all roads lead to papal Rome now. And so it was for President Donald Trump during his first foreign trip. Pope Francis is quite determined to come out the winner in his dealings with Trump. And when we study Bible prophecy, it is clear the Pope and his church will have much more influence over the world than any political leader, including the leadership of the United States of America. Now, one of the gifts the Pope gave Donald Trump was the Pontiff's new book on climate change, Laudato Si, on the care of our common home. Now, in this new book, Pope Francis declares that Sunday is meant to be a day that heals our relationships with God, with ourselves, with others, and with the world, according to page 237. And according to the Pope, in other words, the planet Earth is rapidly deteriorating. Our environment is in jeopardy. The Earth's desperate condition demands immediate attention. The world must unite. This is his point. The world must unite to put a healthy pressure on governments to enforce laws to protect our common home. Now, this is rather striking. This quote is a blockbuster quote for any student of Bible prophecy. Listen to this. Sunday, like the Jewish Sabbath, is meant to be a day which heals our relationships with God, with ourselves, with others, and with the world. Sunday is the day of the resurrection, the first day of the new creation. Now, Pope Francis is here promoting a false Sabbath, a counterfeit Sabbath. So, most people in this world aren't aware of the fact that Sunday observance is an institution of the Roman Catholic Church and is nowhere commanded in the Bible. In his encyclical, Dies Domini, which means the Lord's Day, Pope John Paul II, in that document translated in English, the Lord's Day, he said, in this matter, my predecessor, Pope Leo XIII, in his encyclical Rerum, spoke of Sunday rest as a worker's right, which the state must guarantee. So,
did you just see that? Yes. The idea of Sunday as a worker's what? Right. Yes. Of course you have to work, don't you? Yes. Because the Bible says he that doesn't work should not work. Eat. So the point about it, you have to work. So here you're presenting the right to work and then the Sunday as a Sabbath, quote unquote, which is a worker's right. Because you can't work every day, amen? You must have a rest. And this is how they are coming. That's how they're presenting it. They will present it all over the world. How will it influence China? How can you influence China? How can you influence Saudi Arabia?
Latin America.
Only by telling them it is a worker's what? Right. And since it is the common time, that is the time that will be enforced. Do you get that clear idea? But watch this. Yes, sir. What did you say?
Right, when you think about the statement from Justin Martha, Apology 67, yes. Sunday indeed is the day on which we hold our common assembly because it is the person on which God transforms the darkness and the prime matter and created the world. What did you think about that statement?
It is clearly, it is clear proof that that is the origin of the papal teaching. It just came from human tradition. But there is more to it than that, because that came from paganism. And when he's saying that because of certain pagan teachings which he had, okay? But we will talk about that the next time. Just observe and don't lose the connection here. Go ahead.
What is he calling for? What he's calling for, everyone, is a national Sunday law, a global Sunday law, an international Sunday law. But this would violate the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. This would be a violation of the Constitution. And this would also be a violation of the Ten Commandments, because the fourth commandment tells us to remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy, and God wrote with his own finger, and when he wrote the Ten Commandments, he spoke the Ten Commandments, and there was shaking and an earthquake there at Mount Sinai. So, when God spoke the Ten Commandments and wrote the Ten Commandments, he stipulated to keep the seventh-day Sabbath. So, I continue. The Pope said back in November 7, 2015, as recorded in Catholic News Agency, if you have the right to work, you have the right to rest. Well, that sounds legitimate. Well, the dignity of the workers was at the center of an address by Pope Francis on Saturday, during which the pontiff reflected on the connection between the right to employment and the right to leisure. This right to rest, Pope Francis said above all, refers to a dimension of the human being which does not lack the spiritual roots and which even you, for your part, are responsible. I continue. He also said, to put it another way, people who work must take the time to relax, to be with their families, to enjoy themselves, read, listen to music. So he promoted Sunday observance a number of times, and so this is another quote. Read, listen to music, play a sport, but this is being destroyed in a large part by the elimination of the Sabbath rest day. Now notice, he calls Sunday the rest day. More and more people work on Sundays as a consequence of the competitiveness imposed by a consumer society. In such cases, he concludes, work ends up dehumanizing people. So what is he saying? What he's saying there, everybody, is that Sunday rest is the new Sabbath.
So did you just see the idea, brethren, right? So you know how they are coming. They're coming with the ideas. So what's going on? Ideas concerning pushing Sunday exaltation and what they call evolve. And one of the evolution of it, it is now being paraded as a right to rest. Just as how you have the right to work. That's how they presented it. If you have a right to work, then you need to have a right to what? Rest. And in other cases, they say rest together. That's how they are coming. So you get the ideas now that you're going to be facing. So look, God has even shown us how they are coming. And when you know the kind of sword your enemy is coming with, then you have to have plenty sword arguments from the word of God to deal with it. What do you say? So learn to answer that. Learn to answer that argument that they are coming with. Answer it from the Bible and strengthen your faith. What do you say, brother? Okay?
Now, the right to work originated? That concept of the right to work, where did that originate?
I can surely tell you, the command to work 6 days is in the 7th day Sabbath. So it will tell you the days you're supposed to work and the day you're not supposed to work. But I am not going to give you any answers. You must learn to find your answers as you search your Bible. Amen? That's what this church is about. Encouraging you to search your Bible for yourself and learn for yourself. Because it's not me that is going to be speaking for you. When they put the gun or the knife at you, you have to give an answer for yourself. Is that understood? Now something terrible is about to happen in the United States. Latest news on my phone is over all the news network. The Democrats, and I like to say Republicans, have planned, they're moving within a couple of months or days to overthrow Trump. Literally, they're planning a coup. And the shocking thing is, who brought forth the message to us? The message came to us from Rodney Howard-Browne. Those of you who know who Rodney Howard-Browne is, a South African, he is responsible for holy laughter. So when you see the evangelicals and the holy laughter and so on, he is responsible for that. He visited Capitol Hill and he was told a secret by a top politician in Washington. Now why are we presenting this? Because we have shown you the Bible prophecies fulfilling. The king of the north fighting the king of the what? South. The Democrats, the Republicans, the Illuminati, the international bankers, John Soros, and you name them, they are all the king of the south. Right? The king of the north is the papacy when the other religions range under her. And there's a fight between the two. Donald Trump, when he went to the Vatican, I just didn't put this part of this video here, his wife is a Catholic, she went and got confirmed. Confirmed is like being rebaptized. She got confirmed. And Donald Trump is watching on as the Pope takes a sharp blade and puts it in her hand and kisses the sharp blade, which is the leading worship of Mary. So what had happened here is that the religion was pushed right in front of his eyes upon his own wife, and he accepted it. But he is a Presbyterian. You must remember when the papacy was overthrown in 1798, Presbyterian that rush in with his sword and gun and tell you go get up and off. So this show you how things have changed now. Is that understood? Things have changed completely now. Now all that is told you for a purpose. Because when you look at Bible prophecy, it is not the Vatican or the Catholic Church that is going to make a move or push for Sunday law, not them. I have some charts, we will just go through the charts in the end, and I will just show you. It is not them that will push for Sunday law. So anybody come and tell you, will you be pushing for Sunday? No, 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 no. They may do that, but it is not them that the Bible prophesies that will succeed in events like that. You will see who. Let's go. Here is the plan to kill Donald Trump or to get him out.
How the establishment left, I'd like to point out the establishment right as well. They're always blaming the establishment left, but it's the establishment, you know, as a whole. They are attempting a soft coup to overthrow Donald Trump. We said that a few months ago. InfoWars has been saying this all along, and now the iconic conservative figures, you're starting to hear them say the same thing. We've got Sean Hannity talking about it. Lou Dobbs mentioned it recently. Newt Gingrich.
All right, so here in America, we're at a turning point tonight with forces now forming an alliance to try and remove President Trump from office. It's that serious.
This is not a diversionary tactic. This stuff is real here. This coup, this silent coup that is taking place is real.
A soft coup is underway right here in the United States of America in an attempt to overturn November's election results and forcibly remove a duly elected president from office. Sinister forces quickly aligning in what is becoming now, in my mind, a clear and present danger.
Because I got to go into the Congress and spend 3 hours from 9:30 in the evening to 12:30 a.m. with one of the senior ranking members of Congress. And he told me, and of course this is what I said on CBN, but they cut it out, but I'm going to go public with this because we have to. He said there is a plot on Capitol Hill to take the president out. I said, you mean by impeachment or by indictment? He said, no, to take him out.
This is an effort to subvert the administration of President Donald Trump. It is nothing less. It is an effort by the deep state to roll over a duly elected president and a legitimate government and to break the will of the American people.
Government bureaucrats, particularly within the intelligence community, have launched a soft coup aimed at the Trump administration.
You can read between the lines. I said, look, I said, that's not going to happen. He said, well, really, there's nothing we can do to stop it. I said, we are going to stop it because we're going to mobilize the body of Christ to pray.
And the best description of it is by Barry Castleman in his blog, where he said, this is a coup d'etat. He said 14 million citizens in private ballots picked Donald Trump. 20 TV executives have decided to destroy him.
This is no longer about Republicans and Democrats, conservatives and liberals. This is about a full-on assault by the left, the Democratic Party, to absolutely carry out a coup d'etat against President Trump.
So do you think that everybody's starting to get the picture that we're in clear and present danger of a soft coup to undermine our election, and they're going to figure out a way to take out the president?
So, my dear brethren, I got it on my phone, the latest news. Big civil war is coming in America because millions will not settle for that. You must remember the latest findings that the Trump administration found out is that a lot of double voting went on in many of the states for Hillary. So let us say if 10 people voted for her, you got 20 votes. And apart from that, more than 8 million dead people voted. It's a surprise that only dead people vote for the Democrats. The dead seems to lie there. And then a lot of illegal aliens in America voted for them. So when you see, they gave you the impression that Hillary won by a landslide, Hillary got a landslide, but she just didn't get all these states, was a lie. She hardly got any votes. Hardly anybody voted for her. Do you know what happened? Let me tell you what happened. Donald Trump won by a landslide. So the people are not going to take it easy. Millions voted for him, 24 people in news organizations, 24 executives, plus some wealthy people want to overthrow him. And now they have passed a law to restrict his ability to put people in office yesterday. So they are coming, they are moving to get rid of him. But they know why. And you and I know this is our chance now to use the freedom we have to spread the truth. And plus that's where the Sunday law is going to come. And God is not going to stop it because we are going home shortly. If you want to stay back, sorry for you. You will stay back as a dead body. But always remember this one thing, we are going home. And the events to meet it is already here. The organizations are already here, as I will read for you. So the point about it is that Donald Trump on Camden Trail, just, yes, go ahead.
It is his government that had the discussion over the law and requested, and the majority disagreed. How they passed the law that you say they passed yesterday?
Not the government.
Who do that? How they did that?
This was done, you must remember, the Democratic Party and a lot of the Republicans, they are only Republicans in name. That's why we call them Republicrats. Okay? In some of the news media, they call them the Dinocrats. That's what they call them. So the point about it is they were responsible, they are being ones responsible for those things. They don't want it because he's rolling back the New World Order.
So they are having their own thing by themselves.
No, well, remember, Congress is the lawmaking body. The president just signs. So they're trying to do things to stop it. So the point I'm showing here is that they want to get rid of him because he has stopped a lot of wrong things from going on. He has rolled back the New World Order in a large way. And remember what the Illuminati always said. The Illuminati always said that it's America to lead the New World Order. So now they've rolled it back. He has rolled it back. You know, we want to hear the President of America speak. There are a lot of wonderful things he's going to say here. You and I are going to pray and ask God to bring him to Christ. What do you say? Amen. Because already, much of the things he will say, we believe it. Yes. Amen? Amen? And we have studied it here. This is God's church, and God's church has the authority and the ability to appeal to God's throne and ask for his conversion. Amen. Let probably Mike Pence, the Vice President, do the wrong. Because Mike Pence has gone full ahead in what he's doing. But let's pray for his conversion. He has done quite a lot and saved us and our children from plenty of trouble that has already been coming. Remember, they already started to pass laws to tell you, if your little boy comes and says he wants to be a girl in the morning, you as a parent supposed to buy the clothes for him, supposed to give him the lipstick, supposed to teach him, and if you don't, then take away that child from you. This is a law that they've passed. All these kind of horrible things they're doing. Now, I have information, but it's too filthy to present here, where they are actually training young girls, saying young girls and young boys supposed to have sex now, should be trained to have sex in a way that God condemned in Sodom and Gomorrah. You're going to teach little children that? He has stopped it. What do you say? And we praise God for that. What do you say? We are very happy about that. So let's look at this one. This one is a bit, maybe about 10 to 15 minutes. But what I've done, I've cut it up and just put on some parts. Pay attention to what is being said. It is important for all of us.
Trump keeps his promise to restore pastors' free speech rights. Now, what is he saying there? Now, this is very, very significant. What Trump has done by his executive order of repealing the Johnson Amendment, this means that he's giving more power now to preachers, evangelists, televangelists who want to get behind different candidates, have those candidates come to church, whatever, and to be able to use tax dollars for religious leaders to promote various politicians and political positions and so forth.
We will always support our evangelical community and defend your right and the right of all Americans to follow and to live by the teachings of their faith. And as you know, we're under siege. You understand that. But we will come out bigger and better and stronger than ever. You watch. You fought hard for me, and now I'm fighting hard for all of you. I have one goal as president: to fight for the American people and to fight for America and America first. We are going to battle for every American who has lost a job, for every family who has lost a loved one, for every American of faith who has lost their rights and lost their freedom. The forgotten men and women will never, ever be forgotten again. You know about that. Remember they said, where did all these people come from? And you know what? They're still trying to figure it out. They don't get it. They don't get it. Your voices will resound across the halls of our Capitol and across the world. We recite today the words of Isaiah chapter 1, verse 17. Learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow. The entrenched interest and failed bitter voices in Washington will do everything in their power to try and stop us from this righteous cause, to try to stop all of you. They will lie, they will obstruct, they will spread their hatred and their prejudice. But we will not back down from doing what is right. Because as the Bible tells us, we know that the truth will prevail, that God's glorious wisdom will shine through, and that the good and decent people of this country will get the change they voted for and that they so richly deserve. Nothing worth doing ever came easy, but we know how to fight better than anybody, and we never, ever would give up, and we don't give up. We are winners, and we are going to fight and win and have an unbelievable future. Unbelievable future, and it's going to be together. I appointed and confirmed a Supreme Court justice in the mold of the late, great Antonin Scalia. And now, Justice Gorsuch has a seat on the United States Supreme Court. Made a promise to protect those jobs and the sovereignty and freedom of the United States. I followed through on my promise to withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
Now, when President Trump walked out of the Paris Accord on global warming, if you hear CNN and those others, he just killed the world. He's responsible for millions dying. And they never tell you what that accord was all about. They never tell you how destructive it was, and it wasn't protecting anybody. The media always lie. It's like when he has been seeking to end Obamacare, they say, oh, you will lose your coverage. But they're not telling you how much organizations that fund people with sicknesses are going out because of Obamacare. Just leave Obamacare by itself, and it will normally destroy everything with regards to health. And here you're trying to change it. So the media never tell you the truth, they always lie. That's why do not trust the mainstream media. How much time must we tell you that? The worst of them all is CNN. Corrupt news network. You see? Do not believe them. The lying one in England, the BBC, run by British Muslims, always keep lying. And like Trinidad and Tobago is sick. Those media, all they know is CNN, BBC. CNN, BBC. CNN, corrupt news network, BBC, backward, confusion, and confusion. That's all they know. So you must understand this, my dear brethren. He will explain to you in a few little words what they left.
Thank you. You understand it. You understand how bad it was for our country. It's going to strip us of our jobs, our wealth, our companies. And they keep saying, oh, it's non-binding, so innocent. I figure between that deal, the Iran deal, NAFTA, we've got some beauties, don't we? Don't worry, you're going to see some real good ones coming about very soon. You're going to see some great ones coming about very soon. And in a really beautiful ceremony at the White House, on the National Day of Prayer, I signed, as I promised I would, a new executive action to protect religious liberty in America, including protecting the rights of groups like yours, the Little Sisters of the Poor. Thank you. Stand up, the Little Sisters of the Poor. They fought so hard for so many years, all of a sudden they heard we won. Right? They were tough. Don't want to mess with the Little Sisters, right? They hung in. They had a lot of losses. They sustained a lot of losses, but all of a sudden, one day, a few weeks ago, it was over. They won. So congratulations. Great toughness. Great people. That executive order also followed through on one of my campaign promises to so many of you, to stop the Johnson Amendment from interfering with your First Amendment rights.
Now this Johnson Amendment, if you were to see, let us say, some government ministers pushing some evil policies, and you want to preach openly against it and show it's against the law, the Internal Revenue Service in America, the IRS, could come now and charge your church with taxes. Because they say, well, you're no longer a religious organization, you're now a political organization, so they can tax you. So they've used that to shut up pastors from pointing out the wrong of the leaders. Now he removed it completely. What did he say? Yeah. So now the preachers are free to preach. What did he say? Yeah. That makes it free for what? Us to preach. If they come and try and pass or tell you it has all kind of genders, you will have to stop saying you are male or female. It's not gender friendly. You and I can say it is wrong. What did he say? Yeah. Female, P-H-N-E? Yeah. That's what we can say. But before you couldn't say that. So now that he removed this Johnson Amendment, you can now preach clear and plain. Amen, brethren? And say it to all the politicians. That's what they have done here. But you know the evangelicals will now go further with it. And that's what's going on right now. Which I will show you what is going on. Let's go.
It was my promise. This executive order directs the IRS not to unfairly target churches and religious organizations for political speech. So the people that you most respect can now feel free to speak to you, like my friend sitting right over here. I can now hear them, and they're unimpeded. So I just want to congratulate everybody in this room, because that was a big deal, and it was a very important thing for me to do for you. And we're not finished yet, believe me, we're not finished yet. So thank you very much. No federal worker should be censoring sermons or targeting pastors. These are the people we want to hear from. How about the people we do hear from every night on television? You want to hear from them? I don't think so. No. We want to hear from the people that we want to hear from. As long as I'm president, no one is going to stop you from practicing your faith or from preaching what is in your heart. Amen. And from preaching, and really, this is so important, from the bottom of my heart, from preaching from the people that you most want to hear and that you so respect. So we have taken a very, very strong position, and you picked a winner. So we want our pastors speaking out. We want their voices in our public discourse. And we want our children to know the blessings of God. Amen. Schools should not be a place that drive out faith and religion, but that should welcome faith and religion with wide open, beautiful arms. Faith inspires us to be better, to be stronger, to be more caring and giving, and more determined to act in selfless and courageous defense of what is good and what is right. Amen. It is time to put a stop to the attacks on religion. Thank you. Thank you. We will end the discrimination against people of faith. Our government will once again celebrate and protect religious freedom.
And this is what we have to pray for.
We're here today to celebrate two values that have always been linked together, and where Ralph, frankly, has done such a great job in linking them: faith and freedom. They're linked together because liberty comes from our Creator. Our rights are given to us by a divine authority, and no earthly force can ever take those rights away. Bureaucrats think they can run over your lives, overrule your values, and tell you how to live. But we know that families and churches, not government officials, know best how to create a strong and loving community. We know that parents, not bureaucrats, know best how to raise children and create a thriving society. And above all else, we know this: in America, we don't worship government. We worship God. Right? We worship God. Thank you. Our religious liberty is enshrined in the very first amendment in the Bill of Rights. The American founders invoked our Creator 4 times in the Declaration of Independence. Don't worry, we're not going to let them change it. You see what goes on nowadays, right? Benjamin Franklin reminded his colleagues at the Constitutional Convention to begin by bowing their heads in prayer. Inscribed on our currency are the words, "In God we trust." And we proudly proclaim that we are one nation under God every time we say the Pledge of Allegiance. Finally, because my administration is deeply committed to the right of religious believers everywhere to be free from persecution, I called on these leaders to protect Muslims and Christians and Jews and people of all faiths, because you know what's going on there, and it's horrible, horrible. Here in America, my administration is determined to work with you to protect your religious liberty, not just for some, but for everyone. Together, we can crush the horrors of terrorism. We can usher in a new era of faith, family, and freedom. Because we understand that a nation is more than just a geography. A nation is the sum of its citizens, their hopes, their dreams, their values, and their prayers.
So, brethren, what do you think? Yeah. You see, these are the values being shared here. We have been studying these things here. And the point about it, pray for this leader. Amen. That the freedom will remain for how much? All. Which includes us also. Amen. So you're seeing what is going on. You want to know what's going on? Those are the things that are going on now. Once you understand that, you know what you should be praying for, you know what opportunities you should seize to preach. Okay? Now, let me just quickly read a few excerpts here since you don't have much time. Then I'll just show you some chance here to summarize what is in this and what we have seen. Do you know, if you ask yourself the question, since President Trump became the President of America, what has been going on? I quote for you this document, Bible Studies at the White House. A spiritual awakening is underway at the White House. Some of the most powerful people in America have been gathering weekly to learn more about God's Word. And this Trump Cabinet Bible study is making history. So you know like how Prime Minister Raul has his cabinet. Yes. Trump has his cabinet too. Yes. Where they make sure they have Bible study every day. Yes. So the government itself is having Bible study. Yes. The bad thing about this though is some of the preachers who are there. Because some of the preachers who are there are Christian spiritualists and apostate Protestants. Yes. And that is why we have to pray that it may not be misled. Sister White says, pray for them. And she said, show them the truth. What do you say? Yes. I quote. They have been called the most evangelical cabinet in history. You see the media didn't let you know that. Men and women who don't mix words when it comes to where they stand on God and the Bible. I don't think Donald Trump has figured out that he chained himself to the Apostle Paul. Dollinger laughed. Dollinger, a former NBA playing giant of a man with an even bigger calling, he founded Capital Ministries with the idea that if you change the hearts of lawmakers, then their Christian worldview will guide them to make good policies. He started Bible studies in 40 state capitals, a number of foreign capitals, teaches weekly studies in the U.S. House and Senate, and now leads about a dozen members of President Trump's cabinet in weekly studies of the scriptures. So you want to know what's going on, how far we have reached? This is what is going on now. It's groundbreaking since he doesn't think of a formal Bible study among executive cabinet members have been done in at least 100 years. First time in 100 years, you have a cabinet in the United States studying the Bible. President Trump is invited to attend studies too. Each week he receives a copy of Jolinger's teaching. And Vice President Pence is also planning to join the study as his schedule permits. He also serves as a sponsor like others, as a sponsor. So, here is what. We have already apostate Protestants, spiritualistic evangelicals studying with him. And you know where they will lead that to. It will lead to them calling for a Sunday law. That's what it will lead to. But the point, it is already starting to happen. So the video we saw with this Sunday nonsense, that's not the real issue. This is the real issue of what is going on. Let me read for you from another document. Liberals explode after learning Trump's cabinet holds weekly Bible studies. The left exploded about it. They are angry because these people study the Bible. Recently, when Ramadan came around, they called Trump and tell Trump, look, Barack Obama has a custom, this have a feast for Ramadan. So we come to the White House and he said no. That's the point. Trump said no way. He don't want Ramadan. He pointed to the what? Bible. The same Barack Obama stopped Christians from coming to the White House. It is the same Barack Obama that stopped Christians from celebrating their various holidays in the White House and only let Muslims do it. Incidentally, your media will not tell you this. That's right. Your media will not tell you this. Listen to this. A lot of leaks came out exposing Hillary Clinton for what she was. They blame Russia. Only a couple of weeks ago, it was clearly explained that the one who leaked all this information was a man by the name of Seth Rich. He was murdered. The night he was murdered, two Pakistani people working for the Democrats actually met him in a party. You could think who would kill him. But the shocking thing is, those same two Pakistani brothers have been found to be the information technology people for the Democrats and for top Democrats. Do you know what happened? It suddenly came to the FBI's attention that $300 million was posted to Pakistan and they catch the Arab brothers running. And the police swooped out and what? Arrested them. What do you say? As a result of that, investigations are now going on to find out what was going on. The Democratic Party in America is finished. Too much corruption. Here's the other shocking thing. Somebody in the White House have been leaking information of what the president is going to do and so on to the left to stop him from getting through. He had to fire so much people. Guess what? Only yesterday, 4 of those leakers were arrested because that is treason according to the Constitution. Yes. 4 was arrested. So the swamp, the deep swamp in Washington D.C. is finally being cleansed. It's being drained. What do you say? And when they drain, all kind of alligators are now getting arrested. Is that understood, my dear brethren? Now watch this here. Watch this here. Listen to this. I'm reading from this document. Richard Land, the controversial former head of the Southern Baptist Convention's public policy arm, joined the Family Research Council's Washington Watch program last night, where he marveled, listen to this, where he marveled that the religious right has gained unprecedented access to the White House during the Trump administration, including having an impact on policy. So it means to say policy now from the government will be impacted upon by those religious people who have now had unprecedented access to the White House. Are you listening to me, my dear brethren? Furthermore, we are even told that Trump even asked for personal recommendations for people because there are so many traitors all around. So they want people from the evangelicals to help them in their government. They already have an Adventist there as the Urban Development and Housing Minister. Ben Carson, he's an Adventist minister and a doctor. He is already on Trump's cabinet. Let me just show you something. Listen to this. An organization was formed. Let me show you here on the board. The name of the organization is POTUS Shield. This organization is the organization that holds the ideology to bring in a new world order that is Christian. To change America and change the world to make it become Christian. This organization are already working with Trump's cabinet. POTUS. Now the word POTUS actually means President of the United States. But it also has a secondary meaning. Let me give you the secondary meaning. While it means President of the United States, it also means prophetic order of the United States. So, in other words, it is a shield to protect the president from being attacked by the left, and it is a shield to protect the prophetic order of the United States, which is Christians. And they are working now. Also, you have another organization, the NAR, which is the New Apostolic Reformation. This is what they are looking for. They are looking for a new apostolic reformation to spread over America. That's where your Sunday law is coming. So, what we are seeing is a group by the name of ACPE, Apostolic Council for Prophetic Elders, is behind everything. Is that understood? Is that understood? And you have a large group together called INC, Independent Network Charismatic Christianity, in which a whole group of evangelicals with different views are banded together to change America. But those views, you will be shocked to know what it is all about. Let us now just look at some charts as we close up. So if you were to ask, what has the apostate Protestant gained in 2017? According to these documents here, they have gained what? Trump cabinet what? Bible study. What else have they gained? Unprecedented access to the what? White House. What else have they gained? Freedom of political speech and activism. So now they can bring their own people to put them in politics. What do you say? What else have they gained? A religious friendly Supreme Court judge who was put on the Supreme Court by Trump. That's what he was speaking about. So in 2017 alone, look at how much the evangelicals have gained. This is what is going on. This is what they have gained. With the Bible study, they can pervert the judgments of those people to bring a Sunday law. They can go and have the Bible study and other things because that unprecedented what? Access to the White House. Also, they now have freedom of political speech and activism with the Johnson Amendment going. And they have a religious friendly Supreme Court judge or justice. That's what they have gained. Yes, my dear.
Just to add, grace and peace, bless Sabbath. Just to add to the news, we have some news regarding the papacy actually. On July 7th, the Holy See, the papacy, exercised a vote to join the 122 1-to-1 majority to adopt a draft treaty forbidding states to develop, test, produce, manufacture, otherwise acquire, possess or stockpile nuclear weapons or other nuclear explosive devices. So it says the papacy, which normally is just an observer in these things, is now given its first vote in the United Nations, and it voted in favor of nuclear disarmament. Right? So what is this telling us? That even the wound of the beast is quickly being healed as well as they are regaining their influence even over law.
And remember, the papacy is just a pastor of a church in a city, in a country. But look at the recognition, and the recognition is because of the office. Vicarious Filial Dei, Vicar of the Son of God. Translated, substitute of the Son of God. That means he is God with God. It is his title that has given him that recognition. Next chart. What is at stake here in this whole battle? It is the First Amendment right that is in the US Constitution, which has influenced religious freedom all over the world. That's what's at stake here, the First Amendment right. The First Amendment right is the part of it called the Establishment Clause. It addresses Congress, the lawmaking body of the United States. It says Congress shall make no law. So the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment right addresses Congress, the lawmaking body, telling them they must what? Make no law. Doing what? Establishing religion, or doing what? Prohibiting the free exercise of religion. And this is the clause that is soon to be broken and transgressed with a Sunday law. That's the reason why we have studied these things so much here, and we have so much literature here. You get yourself to know these things. Don't think it is too hard for you. Don't think that your head is too banga that you cannot learn. You can learn. You can understand. And we have many teachers here who will take the time and teach you. Just give yourself a chance now. You need this education. It is this education that will prepare you for what is coming. Because if you don't have the education, you'll be deceived, you'll take the wrong position, and flatly, you'll be lost. Next slide. In the letters, in the documents here that I didn't have a chance to read them all, because it's too late, but it clearly tells us what the forces of apostate Protestantism has targeted. They have targeted what? Government what? Policies. And they have targeted what they call demonic influences. Through demonic influences, targeting that they will work miracles. And targeting government policies, they will get the government to change the laws. Is that understood? So they have already done the right thing to change the world to bring about their ideas. Because the Bible says it must touch two things. It must touch government policies and it must touch miracles. And they have already gone into those two aspects of it. That's what these forces of apostate Protestantism, POTUS Shield, NAR, ACPE and INC, that's what they have already done. Next. The forces of apostate Protestantism, these documents tell us here, which I didn't get a chance to read for you, tells us that they seek a spiritual great awakening. And in it they tell you it embraces the United States and embraces what? The world. And they say it in these documents to establish the kingdom of God on earth, and then Christ will return. That's the people they are now influencing the cabinet. Look at their belief. That's what's going on. This should show you how late time is. Let me just give you one line here from this. Listen to this. In this document here, we are told it is Pentecostals, it is Pentecostals and those others, right? That is here, right? Alright? So, to influence someone means you are getting them to do something they would not do if you don't show them to do it. So you have to show them to do it. To this question, what is influence? You have to show them to do it, and you have to cause them to do it, or else they won't do it. So if you get them to do it, you influence them. Yes. Okay? Okay? Right, very good. Now let me just read a little portion here for you. This is terrible. This is actually terrible. This organization, Porter Shield, was formed, we are told, March 2017. That's just recently there. And they already acquired so much power. Are you listening, my dear brethren? They had a big meeting where they had waving Israeli flag, blowing shofar, speaking in tongues, dancing, and so on. All that they had in a big meeting. And they have now, let me quote, part of a great struggle between good and evil that is taking place continuously in the heavens and here on earth, where the righteous contend with demonic spirits that control people, institutions, and geographic regions. They believe that Trump's election has given the church in America an opportunity to spark a spiritual great awakening that will engulf the nation and the world. And they believe that a triumphant church establishing the kingdom, and they believe that a triumphant church establishing the kingdom of God on earth will set the stage for Christ's return. That's what they teach. And this was only formed in March 2017. Yet they have already acquired so much influence and power. And this is their view. You see, they seek a great spiritual awakening which will embrace the United States, which will embrace the world for the sake of establishing the kingdom of God on the earth, and then Christ will return. How will they get this? Through a Sunday law. So we see the movements is already here to bring it about. They already have a government friendly to them, and they're already pushing their ideas. Are you listening to me, my dear brethren? Are you seeing how late time is? You see, when you see the danger coming, you warn people. Some of you who saw images of the 2004 tsunami that struck Indonesia, you would see many people didn't even know how to look for a tsunami. They stood on the beach and they just found it and wonder all the water gone way out. And they stand up walking, watching fish and they go and taking out fish and all kind of things. Not knowing that if the water runs so far out, what is going to happen? It's going to come back. By the time they see it coming back, it was too late. So when you see the danger coming, you warn people that they may take evasive action. What do you say? In this case, to be justified, to be sanctified, and to learn how to handle sin. What do you say? Is that understood? And that's what we teach in this church. That's why this church is a blessing from God. Amen. Existing at the right time in this earth's history. Amen. Now go on, next chart. So here's the word. POTUS, President of the United States. That's what that word means. But it also has a new meaning of Prophetic Order of the United States. And this is the organization, POTUS Shield is the name of it. It is the organization that is now acquiring all this power with this vision. Are you listening to me, my dear brethren? Next chart. So, what is the vision of POTUS Shield? What do they say in their own document? What is their vision? The vision of POTUS Shield is to sweep out the U.S. Supreme Court, which have been making rulings against Christianity. They have already started with a new judge put there by President Trump. And One of their vision is to change the laws of the land. And that is coming. What do you say, brethren? We must gain what we can gain from the whole thing and don't go further. What do you say? We have our freedom now, use it to the max. What do you say? Use it to the maximum. And spread the truth. This is what's going on now. Next chart.
Yes. This morning, very early this morning, I was reading the very first chapter in the Great Controversy, Destruction of Jerusalem.
Yes.
Mrs. White was commenting, and she has his words. How Jesus said the problem with the Jews is that they did not know the things that belong unto their peace.
That's right.
They did not know it. But those who took heed, not one of them perished.
Not one of them perished. That's right.
Christians and them who took heed as to the warning,
yes.
Not one of them perished.
Amen. That's why we have to take warning. Yes. Right, so how Sunday is exalted today, we have shown you this, they have said it, as the right to rest. Do you see that?
Yes.
And also as the right to rest and the what? Same time for family and human engagement. That's what we're pushing it today. So you develop your teachers to deal with that. What do you say? Amen, brother? You develop your teachers to deal with that. And finally, this is the chart we will go through, but we will go through this the next time. Revelation 13, 11 to 17. This is what we will go through. Your Bible clearly shows you who will make the move for the last event. It clearly shows you who will make the move for the last event. Revelation 13, 11 to 17 show you it is the apostate protesters. It show you it is who?
Apostate protesters.
They will cause the worship of the papacy. That's what the Bible show you. They will cause the worship of the papacy. It is the apostate protesters that will use miracles to call for the setting up of the image of the papal beast. It is they that will do miracles for that. It is the apostate protestants that will cause the world to set up the image of the papal beast. They are the ones that will do that. They will use miracles to encourage people, to motivate people. It is the apostate protestants that will cause the world to enforce the mark of the beast or Sunday exaltation. They are the ones that will do that. It is not the Pope that will do that. Not the papacy or the Vatican. They will do it. Therefore making people worship the Pope, the papacy, and the Vatican. Are you listening to me? Yes. What strange behavior. That's what the Bible shows you. So don't look to Rome, look to the United States. See what's going on there and see how far the events have reached. That's why we are telling you what is going on. We've given you news as to what is going on. Right now the organizations are already there. They've made plenty gains and they are marching on. The final movements will be rapid ones, we are told. And you are facing these things right now. That's why, are you a person who have learned to wake up out of laziness and sleeping? To wake up out of lack of being conscious of reality? It is the truth that makes you that way. And it is the truth that gives you energy to face what you have to face. The point about it is be serious. Mean it with your heart. We give you the assurance that God will help you in all these things that you seek help in. Amen. Is that understood? Yes. Cast your care upon him for he what? Care for you. The Bible tells you that. So now we have given you the information. I've only given you part of it here. You would have had to go much longer. And for some people, many people cannot take these information properly. They hear it and they pass their ears. But if you were me and you hear that, what would you do? Or if I were you and I heard that, what would I do? What would I do if I hear this? What What should be the right attitude? Attitude number one, recognize time is late. Amen? Attitude number two, make sure you know the Bible. Make sure you learn Bible prophecy and don't tell yourself you're too old to learn. It is a law that when a person is older, their mind is more logical and more rational, and they have a tendency of taking things that are more important than a little child. Therefore, it is easier for older people to learn. Don't tell yourself you're too old to learn. We can't learn. Ask God to help you. Take the Bible up. We have literature here. We have people here who will show you. So that in the end you will know what to do. In the long run, the aim is to make sure God separates you from sin, making you sin free, teaching you how to maintain the sin freeness, preparing you for the end, which is swiftly coming, fitting you to preach these truths. And you have to dedicate yourself to that. Let me ask you a question again. Could you exist without purpose? No. Everything you have a purpose. I read this paper has a purpose. I use it for it to write on. Is that not so? Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of phones in front of me on a podium with a purpose. They all have purpose. Think about yourself. What purpose do you have? Why do you exist? What is your future? What purpose do you have for your future? The purpose that you need can be given to you by God. All you have to do is say, Lord, I've decided to follow you. Give me purpose. And He will give you purpose. As you learn from the Bible daily, what you learn, as you live it, you're fulfilling your what? Purpose. But also there's a general purpose. You have individual purpose and you have general purpose. The general purpose is to fulfill why you were created. And we were all created to deal with a claim that Lucifer made. And Lucifer not made that claim, you and I would not exist. He made a claim that he found that creation is God with God, and that he was God with God. And God created man to destroy the claims of the devil. Amen. But when the devil tempted Adam and Eve, he got Eve saying the same thing, but only with a different qualification. You will still be as God, but knowing good and evil. And she actually thought she was God with God. So man fell into that deception. That's the reason why the history of false religion has always been the history of creating gods with God. That's right. And that's the reason why you have to learn to show that there is only one true God. Amen. And the Bible tells you His name. I will give you two scriptures to close. Psalms 118. Psalms 118. We just take the first part of that scripture, verse 27. Verse 27. We take the first part. I need you to read it for yourself too, as I read. Just the first part. Okay? And we're going to read the Hebrew also. As we read it, we'll read it according to the Hebrew. Ready for this? It says this. God is Yahweh, which has showed us light. Come here. Did you hear that? What did it tell you? God is Yahweh, which has what? Showed us light. Amen. Remember that. One more scripture. One more scripture. 1 Kings 18, 39. I'm waiting for you to find it. I'm not going to read it until you find it. 1 Kings 18, 39. You know the history behind this verse. The whole nation of Israel had turned away from God and went after Baal. So God had to try to bring the whole nation back to their purpose. You have to bring them back to their real purpose. The purpose for which we were created. The one that Jesus called the first commandment. Just indulge me 2 more scriptures after this. Can I? Watch this. Let's read it here. Watch this. Verse 39. And when all the people saw it, they did what? Fell on their faces. And they said what? Yahweh, He is God. What else? Yahweh, He is God. Amen? They get the whole nation to acknowledge why you were created. They went away from their purpose, and in the end they get them to say what was their purpose. Did you see that, my dear brethren? Did you see that?
Yes, brother.
Turn to Mark 12. Mark 12. Mark 12. We will read from verse 28 and 29. Mark 12. Have you found it? Yes. Watch this. And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him. So he's asking Jesus Christ, the scribe. Asked him, which is the first commandment of all? Did you hear what the scribe asked Jesus? Yes. What did he ask him? Which is the first commandment of all? And Jesus' answer, he goes, you ready for this one? He says this, and Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is what? Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our God is one Yahweh. That's the first commandment. That's why you were created to show that. That's why you can't say Jehovah like a watchtower. It's not hallelujah, Jehovah, it's hallelujah. Is that understood? That's why you can't do that. And when they say Yahweh, the Bible says God is Yahweh. So if it says Yahweh, who you say? God. And finally, the best way that you can show a person, right? The best way you can show a person the true God Yahweh is found in Ezekiel 2020. Yes. Your 2020 vision. Amen. Your 2020 vision. Tell me when you found it. Hear what it says? 2020. In 2017, we have 3 more years in 2020. In fact, almost, almost. So I like to call it your 2020 vision. What does it say? And how long are you what? Sabbath. And there shall be what? A sign between what? Me and you, that what? You may know that I am what? Yahweh, your God. That's what this Sabbath is showing. So praise God they came here today on this Sabbath. Amen. What did you say by coming here on this Sabbath? Yahweh, because he didn't say Sunday. Is that understood? And that's what you should. Just your footsteps here. Look at the great blessing. You have already, watch me. You have already, just by coming here, you know what you did? You know what you did just by coming here? Your footsteps coming right here to this church building said this. I am here on the 7th-day Sabbath because what? Yahweh is my God. Amen, brethren? Amen. So in the end we say, long live the Reformation, Yahweh the Lord.
Okay, brethren, before we pray, I would like to recommend, especially for the newcomers, If you want to know more about Revelation 13, go to YouTube, Tuesday Yesterday Gospel. Just put Revelation 13 by it. There's wonderful studies done, church studies that you can go through. Also, we have a Revelation 13 book. It checks its Linda. I think it's $100 copy. It's really worth it by grace of God. Okay? Amen.
What did the Bible say? The Bible prophesies of Jesus coming. Right? And he's a king that shall reign. And the Bible says, you know what is his name? What? Yahweh our righteousness. That's what the Bible tells you. That's the third angel's message. Amen. Amen. Yahweh our righteousness. Do you know what I have? Do you know what I could have shown you out here? I have a study I put out here. I just didn't make the charts for it. Or I have charts for another one. You can be shown. And when they say the gospel, the Sabbath is preaching it. When they say the gospel, the Sabbath is preaching the gospel. The Sabbath is teaching justification. The Sabbath is teaching sanctification. The Sabbath is teaching who is the true God. Say, come, go on. Justification, sanctification. That's the Sabbath. This is the reason why, my dear brethren, you're being told to make sure you learn these truths here. These truths will help you. But you see, I can only open my mouth and talk. It is only God that has charge over your life. Your parents don't. Those who preach to you or teach you don't. God has charge over your life and you by your choices. And we are asking you to make the right choice. To be sincere. To be honest. It's time for you to get somewhere. You can't be in this backward way forever. You don't have some people, 20 years later, the same old silly falls. You ask, what were they doing? What were you doing? There is ways to deal with it. So start getting somewhere. Start dealing with these things. And if you get in trouble, seek help. And seek help like you have never sought help before. Because now the help is available even more now than before. And we promise you by the grace of God that you will gain the victory. Amen. This is no idle statement. If we can show you how to deal with your own heart, you have heart problems. If we can tell you get apple cider vinegar, put cayenne pepper in it, grate garlic, put garlic in it, get some juice from the ginger, put the ginger in it, and just drink about half a glass 3 times a week. Voila! All the problem is done. All the problem is done. All the arteries that will clog to bring about heart attack, to bring about stroke is cleansed. This is not a guess. This is not a medical guessing. If we can tell you how to do that, then we can tell you how to be saved. Amen. If somebody says, oh, I have diabetes, and we show you, listen, simplest way. Take the Pirelli, or sterilize it in water, and drink the water. Do that within a week, and you're done with insulin and all these other nonsense. We can show you. Amen. So look, we can show you by the grace of God. If we can show you by the grace of God, then we show you the way of salvation. We show you the way of salvation. So for God's sake, do something to help yourself. Seek help while it is there. And by the grace of God, we will do our very best to help you. This is no idle boast. This is assurance and confidence in the grace of God, which has power to save. For by grace are ye saved through the faith. And that salvation is not of yourself. It is your gift of God. Amen? Sin-freeness is a gift of God. Remember that. Let us pray. Gracious, loving Father, We thank you for all that you have shown us. We thank you for the light of truth that you have given to us. Because thou art Yahweh God, who has given us light. We thank you very much. We thank you for blessing us on this Sabbath week. May we abide in the truth of the plan of salvation. May we walk in obedience to your commandments. Bless us with success. And help us to love our fellow men through your great love. And we ask of you to prepare us for the end, to prepare us for the coming of Jesus Christ. Thanking you again through Christ our Savior. Amen. Amen.